Hey, welcome to Bears Banter. My name is Bernard Muhammad. Alongside of me tonight is Jay Beasley and Guy Moore. Tammy won't be able to make it. We're waiting on Keith Floydnoy to get on. And we had Mark Chin might be able to come on. He was going to make a guest appearance, and we're waiting on Mike Quick Alton. How y'all doing tonight?
Not bad.
Not bad.
Good,
Okay.
good. Can't complain. Can't
Can't
complain. It's
complain.
Christmas
Okay.
Eve. It's Christmas
Yeah.
Eve.
Hey.
So you know what I'm saying. It's
Right.
all good.
We on Christmas Eve, and I don't want to ignore that. I know I'm probably the only one on the broadcast that don't really actually celebrate Christmas, but that don't really matter as far as that. What movies are on your agenda tonight that you tend to watch every Christmas? I know one of the ones for me, I do always watch The Miracle on 30. No, it used to be The Miracle on 39th Street until my wife actually started getting me to watch. I don't know why I'm going brain dead right now, but
34th
Jimmy
Street.
Stewart's movie.
Yeah.
I don't know why I can't think of the name of the movie right now. But what about you, Jay? What movie do you always you got to watch on Christmas?
None of them.
Okay.
Quiet as it's kept. I'm like a Christmas Scrooge. I
Okay.
really am.
Okay.
No, I'm not.
You like me then.
Especially now because my girls are grown. You know, I don't have kids anymore, so I don't have to do the whole fake pretend Christmas type thing. And for a long time, I just thought, I tell people happy holidays because, like you, Bernard, you don't celebrate Christmas. I just say happy holidays. Because Christmas, to people that actually celebrate Christmas, they don't celebrate it for the right reason, as far as I'm concerned. So it's one of those things where I'm kind of like, I'm so standoffish on Christmas now because, again, like I say, I don't have babies no more. My kids are grown and they ain't looking for no presents. They're looking for money.
Okay. Hey, what about you guys? Do you have any movies that
Not
your
really,
agenda?
but you know what? I'll watch A Christmas Story.
Okay.
And then or like on like right before New Year's, I watched the Marx Brothers Duck Soup. Because when I
Oh
was a
man.
kid, every year on Channel
Yeah.
9 at midnight, Duck Soup would come on, and I'm out there watching. Man, I used to like the Marx Brothers. But for me, it's as far as Christmas, it's kind of bittersweet because I lost my mom the prior month before Christmas, and it
Mhm.
was our favorite holiday. And it's like I'm grown, my kids are adults, and I like to watch. For me, I just like to watch like grandkids and little kids play, and just excitement that they have. And you're absolutely right, Jay. I think people what happened is the premise of Christmas. This is not like I know it's not a religious show; it's a sports show. So I'm not gonna get into that whole thing. But what I'm saying is, I think a lot of
Right.
times the message in Christmas itself, the premise of Christmas, I think it's lost on people because so many people are into what they can get as opposed to what they can give. So what I try to do is for me for Christmas, I try to make sure that the people I care about are happy, man, are in a good mood and just being blessed that everybody's healthy, man. Outside of that, man, I'm watching TV, maybe having a shot of six or something like that. Not a shot of two, but a shot of six.
Kind of six. I
Okay.
heard that.
Oh, you know what the movie I just thought
My
about? A Wonderful Life. That's the name. That's the name of
A
the movie.
Wonderful
That's
Life.
an
Yeah, that's the
excellent.
name
It's a
of it.
wonderful. It's an
That's the name of it.
excellent movie, man.
A Wonderful
Yeah.
Life. A
Hey,
Wonderful
welcome,
Life.
Mike. Welcome to the broadcast, Mike. Hey, we would before we got started, we was just talking about were there any movies that are on your agenda for Christmas?
Yeah, Players Club. No,
Ho ho ho.
hey, if y'all go back to the Players Club, this girl that went to school with me at Mississippi Valley State, when they walk into into that type of club, she be like, "I got the clapper." Yeah, she went to Mississippi Valley State. That's Tasha, Texas, y'all.
Oh
Anyway,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
no, yeah. No, I'm thinking about Hustle and Flow. One of them type of movies. I don't
One
know.
of the movies. One of the
Okay.
movies.
I think it's the eggnog. I think it's this eggnog right here.
Hey man.
I don't know.
Man, hey Mike, you know what? Every year people argue about is Die Hard a Christmas movie. Now we're gonna have
No,
to argue about is Players Club a Christmas movie.
Hey,
Yeah,
whatever gives you Christmas cheer.
you know
Right?
what I'm saying? All day long. Bang, 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 bang,
Right.
Tell you what, this is
Hey, you know what?
a
Okay,
nice
let's just
Christmas
go to
gift
this
right
real
here.
quick. Okay, before we like I said, before we get to the broadcast, what about any animations or cartoons that as a shorty
Oh,
that
heck
you
yeah.
love? What was
Man,
that? What's
the
that guy?
Peanuts? Come on now. You got to
Hey,
have a
hey, hey,
Charlie Brown Christmas, man.
Oh,
Yeah,
Rudolph.
hey,
yeah.
give me one.
Rudolph.
Give me one that you love, guy, animation, and one that you thought sucked.
Oh, you know what? The one I love, well, Charlie Brown Christmas is a tie with the other one where they had the puppets. It was like, it was the year without a Santa Claus. I just like that. But Christmas, like, you know what? It's interesting, I guess, because even as an old man, I like cartoons. So I don't know, man. I'm trying to think of something, a Christmas cartoon that was horrible. I don't know, man. I guess because when I got older, I would watch cartoons and have a sip or something like that. Took it to a whole nother dimension. So, but I don't know
Okay.
about the ones that suck.
What about you, Jay? I mean, you had any? I know you're in the same boat with me, but is there any animation that you like then or still like now?
You're a mean one, Mr.
Mr.
Grinch.
Oh my, how the Grinch stole Christmas, man. Oh
That was
man.
my favorite. How the Grinch stole Christmas.
Stink,
How the
stank,
Grinch
stunk.
stole Christmas. And as far as that was my favorite, but as
Okay.
far as the ones I didn't like, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, I
Oh
wasn't
yeah.
all into that, because I'm like, even as a kid, I didn't believe in reindeer. So my mom and pops worked too hard for me to be like, Santa Claus brought this. But so I think that's why I gravitated to How the Grinch Stole Christmas. You're a
Okay,
mean
real
one,
quick. When I was 3 years
Mr.
old,
Grinch.
they used to celebrate that. You know, our parents would tell you, "Oh, go to bed early because Santa Claus will come." When I was 3 years old, and my mother told me this, and it's funny to this day. She said, "Well, you better go to bed because Santa Claus coming." I'm like, "Santa Claus too fat to fit through our chimney." And she looked at me and said, "You know what, baby? You're right. Go to bed so me and your daddy can get your stuff together."
Hey, for me, it was the movie Jay. Was it? No, the guy mentioned The Year Without Santa Claus. With Mr. Heat Miser and all
Yeah,
that.
Mister.
Yeah, that was my favorite. Man, one I never liked was Frosty the Snowman. I thought,
Frosty the Snowman.
I never
I
liked them either,
thought,
man. Really, yeah.
man, I thought that was. I just thought it was just. I
Fake.
didn't like that one at all. It was just.
Fake.
It had the one
Fake.
little black kid in it, man.
Yeah. They
Hey,
all
what
had
about
that
you,
one black kid in
Quick?
there.
What
Man,
animations did you like, Quick?
we really didn't grow up with that whole Christmas cheer thing either. My daddy told us a long time ago, wasn't no damn Santa
Right.
Claus.
Right.
So
Santa Claus
I
working
Man,
nine
I
to
this
can't
five,
we
fool.
just screwed
I
this
Right.
broadcast, ain't we?
hey man, listen, my pops never wrapped gifts. I never wrap gifts. Like I
Yeah.
just took my shorties their gifts. Yo, look, boom, boom, boom. We ain't do all that over here, man, because we knew that pops and my moms was working hard to get our stuff, and wasn't
Absolutely.
no fat white man jumping down no chimney bringing nothing in the hood. We ain't believe that.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I mean,
Too
I got to
tough.
go with Guy on. I always love that Peanuts one with Charlie Brown, but the rest of that stuff, like I said, wasn't no fat white man jumping down no chimney over here in the hundreds. He wasn't coming over here.
That was a genius
He-
move on your folks' part, man.
yeah, hey, my pops, man, never, ever, 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 ever wrapped a gift that I know of that I can
Get,
remember.
and guess what? You don't have that black glad bag where kids don't meticulously open up gifts. They be doing this and look around.
Just
You be looking
tearing up
around
stuff.
like January, like the 15th, like, what the hell is this? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So you don't wrap it like, look, here's your little Lone Ranger here. Here's your Stretch Armstrong. But for me, man, when I came out and my doggone brother helped my mother set up my Hot Wheel track thing, and it was in the front room,
yeah.
I didn't care about
Yep.
nothing else.
Yep.
Hey, the
Right.
best gift I got was Atari 2600, bro.
Mm,
And back then, like even now to this day, like we'll write your name on it. We ain't wrapping that joke down. Too much
Hey,
time.
you know what? In relationship to football, in reference to Christmas, my brother Andre, matter of fact, he may even be watching this broadcast. We had before the 2600, we had the electric football
Oh
game
yeah.
where you had the hard
When they be
plastic guys with the
that little
bottles.
sponge football.
Yeah, and it
Uh-huh.
would just vibrate. And then you really moved up when you got some of the players that had the little circle under the bottom, right?
Yep.
And you could kind of rotate them, like, you know, if you wanted them to turn and all that. And you had the little sponge ball and the little white plastic quarterback. And we had like a whole league on the block, you know, and maybe about 6 to 8 guys that we would just go from house to house. It was at John, me, Groucho, man, you know, a bunch of guys, and we would just, and then my brother Andre would get so mad if he lost, and sometimes he'd just knock all the things off the thing. But anyway, let's get to the Bears. The Bears play this week, the Seattle Seahawks. The Bears are 4-10 coming into this game, and Seattle is, I believe, 5-9 coming into this game. So as far as wins and losses, they're only like one game difference in that category. Seattle's got one more win than the Bears. We just found out earlier today that Justin Fields is going to be a scratch for this game, so that makes it a little bit more interesting in the sense that.
No, I don't.
He said, "Don't."
No, I don't.
Man.
So
no, go ahead, Bernard. I'm sorry.
It's making it interesting in the fact that is Justin really can't play, or is this just one of those things where Nagy just saw a little opening to play another quarterback, and he would have wanted it to be Andy Dalton, but Andy is, I believe, is out on a. I don't have an injury report in front of me, but he has a groin injury.
I think it's a groin.
Okay. What you got, Jay?
Since we got here, though.
First of all, I'm not even mad that Justin Fields ain't playing. You know what?
Me neither.
4-10. It is what it is. You know, we got 3 games left. Let Justin rest if he's actually hurt. You know, and he came on and said that he actually was hurt in the first quarter of the last game, but he said his adrenaline was flowing, and he really didn't think about it. I'm not mad that he's not playing. This ain't even got nothing to do with Nagy, as far as him choosing Nick Foles as a starting quarterback, because somehow Andy Dalton got hurt on the COVID list with a groin injury. so it is what it is. It is what it is, man. Yeah. Let's get through this season. We already know Nagy ain't gonna be here. Let's get through this season. I'm not mad that Fields ain't playing. Let's get through the season, and you know, I actually think just Nick Foles might do pretty well.
I was thinking that too. Yep.
Yeah. So what? Looking at this game, like I said, both teams are basically struggling. I believe this is Seattle's first losing season. I want to say this might be Seattle's first losing season since this is second one since Russell been the starting quarterback. So that and I know he's missed a significant amount of games this year with I believe a finger injury. Mm-hmm. I think I remember seeing the game when he threw the ball and he hit somebody's helmet.
Yeah, I won a lot of money that day.
Oh, did you?
I was against the Rams. I just had a flashback. Like, yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Tammy? I see Tammy say,
hey, what's the first lady, Mary.
Hey, I'm making caramel cakes. Caramel cakes for everybody for Christmas.
Right. Hey, she's in town now, so no excuses. We can get that cake now.
Bring it out.
Right.
Bring it out.
Right. Hey, so, guy, looking at this game, what do the Bears need to do to win this game, guy?
Just like Joe Jackson did his kids, beats me. But you know what? I've kind of been looking at some things. What's interesting about Nick Foles, if you insert him in, like when he's been sitting on the bench and you put him in, he plays good. It's then like after a couple games later, something I looked at, and I have to give a fair assessment because I know we've been cracking jokes about him moonwalking and having more backup yards than regular yards and stuff, but something that he does that I really like, and we talked about Nagy making adjustments, and he doesn't. That offense is basically structured for Nick Foles. Nick Foles has a quick release. You'll see these like guys in the slot, and you'll have like, I'm watching some film. They had 4 wides. 2 guys did curls. Mooney does a drag. Guy comes out. It's perfect for him. It's just they don't make adjustments for the other quarterbacks. And then I'm watching something that just totally made my stomach hurt. They got Montgomery right on the side there. They hiked the ball. He's standing there blocking. I'm like, really? But you know what? The Bears, if the Bears just play like, hey, you know what? We ain't got nothing to lose. Just show up. And here's another positive thing. If he utilizes Allen Robinson, because that's like his go-to guy. If Allen Robinson's in and he utilizes Allen Robinson, they really got a good chance of winning this game because Seattle ain't all that this year. But then we also have to keep in mind you got Russell Wilson back there. You got the personnel and the pieces, and you got a coach that makes adjustments. But I think this is one that we could possibly steal.
Okay. Hey, T, it looked like we need to do football 101 again. One of my high school classmates, Devorah, says she doesn't know much about football. I thought a touchdown is worth 6 points, like back in the 70s. Actually, a touchdown is worth 6 points.
You kick a field goal for the extra point.
You kick a field goal to get the extra points to get 7. So you are correct. The game is still the same. Just some of the rules changed, but you're right about 6 points. Hey, Jay, what do the Bears need to do to win this game?
Run the football. Run the football. We're not trying to see Nick Foles attempt 46 passes like like he normally do. Just to me, at this point in the season, it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I'm not looking for a win or a loss. I'm just looking for some progress. I'm looking at Tevin Jenkins at the left tackle. I'm looking at Larry Borom at the right tackle if he's going to play. Those are the things I'm looking at. Thomas Graham Jr., which we called it last week. We ain't even going to even start talking about that. This dude got the most pass breakups, or tied for the most pass breakups in one game than the Bears have had all season. I'm looking for progress. I ain't looking for no wins, no losses at all. I'm not looking for wins or losses at all. Just go out there and, again, don't embarrass yourself because you scheduled to play a 3:00 game, so it's gonna be kind of nationwide. It ain't the 3:25 game, but it's gonna be nationwide. You playing on the West Coast, you playing with the 12th man in Seattle and all that good stuff. But just come out and just play basic football and don't get embarrassed. I'm not looking for wins or losses. I'm looking for progress. That's all I'm looking for.
That's true, man.
Hey, Mike, the same question. What do the Bears need to do to win this game? Or do they want to win this game?
It doesn't matter. We ain't got a first round draft pick. I'm sorry, no. Mike. It doesn't matter. We ain't got a first round draft pick. Right now, the Giants, I got our draft pick, and I think as of right now, they're gonna be picking 4th and 6th in the first round. So it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Gonna mess it up. Just like the Jets did last year.
It's the Giants, so. But
anything that start with New York is gonna be terrible. It don't even matter. You look at the Brooklyn Nets; they can't even win a damn game. But anyway, back to the original question: what do the Bears have to do to win the game? The only thing they can do is run the football. What's going to happen in this game is that Seattle has a hell of a pass rush. So if Nick Foles, who can't run, wants to sit back there and try to be a gunslinger, it's not going to work. But Nick Foles beat Tampa Bay last year. So,
yeah, he sure did.
We have to take all that into consideration here. Makes you ponder and go, No, it don't make me ponder and go, because Pete Carroll's the coach and we got Nagy. So coaching-wise, they beat us all day long.
Yeah.
But team-wise, we got a chance to win. Our defense is pretty good versus their not-so-good offense, and our not-so-good offense is against their okay defense. So we just got to run the ball.
Okay.
You know what?
Kind of a wash.
I encourage you to do real quick, I encourage you guys to do, look at that game that Foles played against Atlanta. It's interesting. Dude looked like a superstar, but here's one thing that I saw about him that's really interesting. When he's getting pressured and he gets scared, how most guys will have some intel to throw it out or whatever. He does this. And he threw it in the it was three defenders back there, and just somewhere or another, I think it was Anthony Miller. It was like, for real? I got it. He was right behind him. But yeah, Mm.
But in his defense, he told Anthony Miller, run to the F or run to the T or whatever it was. ATL. He told him to run to the L, and he was gonna throw the ball there. But
Yeah, but if he hadn't held on to that, if he had held on to that ball for a second or more, he would have been effed.
doesn't
No,
matter.
that F
Doesn't
stand
matter.
for flatline. Flatline.
Yeah, flatline.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Like I said, to me, I don't even really care who win this game. To me, it's all about progress of the young players, and that's from this game forward. That's all I'm looking forward to.
Right.
Hey,
We'll
but
beat
you
them
know what? I
next
got
year.
a question. I got a question for Bernard since you're going next up. You were running back, and you're in a situation where you have some input as far as offense is concerned. What do you think would be the most important thing for the Bears to do right now, as far as what we got with everything on the table, neither win, loss, or whatever? How would you approach this game from a running back perspective?
For running back, I would like to get the ball at least 25 times. In this current NFL, I like to get the ball 25 times. And if my early on as a running back, my style was probably more close to Montgomery, where I just tried to truck guys and didn't and just use my strength for my legs, because I used to lift a lot of leg weights. So from his perspective, give me some more simple runs straight at the hole, through the 2 hole, in the 4 hole, in the 3 and the 5, right? I really don't want to, from that style of run, I don't want a lot of like out 7s
Outside
and
carry.
9s, outside stuff, right? Because I gotta get my body in gear and get my speed. But now if I'm Khalil Herbert, that's what I became later on, more like Khalil Herbert. I do want those outside runs. I do want those pitches. I do want those. Matter of fact, I may even want the 7 and 9. I want some 6 and 8s, a whole lot more. But I still want those amount of carries. I want some passes out of the backfield. I want some screens and stuff like that. So with that said, I think the Bears need to run this ball to win this game. Get their pass attempts to 30. Take those field goals. Learn your lesson from last week. Take those field goals when you're in the red zone on 4th down. You got one of the best kickers in the game right now. He's real reliable. Take that. Play good defense, and you should be fine in this game, because you're playing a team that's, theoretically they're about in the same boat as you. They don't really. They don't. Only advantage they have is their quarterback is better than our quarterback, but nothing else right now. As far as when you look at the injury report, it's coaching. Of course, coaching is they have advantage, but I don't think they got the horses that's available to play. So I really don't think this is it's a winnable game to me. This is a winnable game. I really just really care about seeing the young players play. I really want to see Tevin Jenkins. I want to see some old Thomas Graham. So that's really my focus on this game. So hey, y'all wanna hold on? We got some comments out here. Hold on. Okay, this is yeah, I think he's a Steelers fan. We got somebody say Bears Banter. Hey, thanks for the pub. Hey, thank everybody who's watching us on YouTube.
Bears Banter.
Yeah, we appreciate it, man. We've been watching the views go up the last show. Yeah, we appreciate it. The 3 shows ago, I think it was the first time we hit about 1,300 views on a single show. The following week, we hit 1,500 views on a single show. And last show, we hit 1,800 views on the single show. It's not like TikTok where you get 100 and 200 and a million views, because those are people dancing in a few seconds. We're asking people to actually give us an hour of their time. Yeah,
a little time.
Yeah, and that's difficult, especially when the team is actually losing, where people are actually checking out. So that's the amazing thing about why we want to thank y'all so much for watching it, because the views have grown at the point where a lot of fans have actually checked out of the rest of the season, where they don't even want to watch any more games. But
hey, Bernard, what's great about what we do too is really we're them. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's a lot of times I think you hear these shows, it's a lot of fluff. You get some guys that didn't play. They didn't play football or nobody made it to the pros or whatever it is, and they sit up and they try to sort of counterbalance what they read and make it the law and stuff. A lot of us, what we do as fans is we go by what we see. I mean, we're smart enough to look at some of the things that go on and make our own assessment of it. That's why I would always say, like, I get into it sometimes back and forth with some people on the, but it's always from love because you're giving us a forum to do something here. We appreciate it. But by the same token, if you're watching the game, even if I don't agree with you, I can't say you're wrong. Because, like I said, when it comes boils down to it, regardless of what our sentiments or what we feel in certain situations, we're you guys. So thanks, man. Thanks, y'all. Keep it coming.
Okay. So hey, let's go to let's look at the injury report. Let me see if I can get the injury report up.
Yeah, somebody got to explain this. Andy Dalton
Go-
getting hurt on the COVID list
Hey,
with
hey,
no
hey,
physical
hey,
contact.
hey, I
Somebody need
already
to
said
explain
that.
that to
Is he
me.
Hey,
I
married?
already said
hey,
that.
this
Well,
is
Is he
like
married?
well,
when
wait a minute.
Brian Greasy tripped over his cat or something, and
Oh,
Yeah,
uh,
guy
I
tried to
had a
say.
joke there, but we kid friendly, so never mind.
Yeah, well, he said his groin is hurt, so I don't know. He might have tripped over his cat. Who knows?
right. Hey
Not the
Jay,
one
can
we
you
think.
take the injury report?
I
Hopefully, let me see if I can
absolutely
see.
not.
Okay,
Absolutely. You know what?
you can't
I
see it.
just did it. I just did it. I just did it. We got Justin Fields that's got an ankle. He's out. Andy Dalton with a groin, as I said earlier, and as Mike reiterated. How do you have a groin injury and you're on the COVID list? Uh, Jason Peters is out with an ankle. You got Jakeem Grant Sr. and I hate that because
That's
he's
not
he
good.
got a concussion. That's not good. Um, who stole? There you go. Who stole my glory? Marquise Grissom got a foot. He's questionable. He's been questionable for a couple of weeks now. Eddie Goldman with a finger. You're a defensive tackle, so I need to see you play. Um, Xavier Crawford got a concussion as well, so he's out. On the other side, you got John Rickenham with a knee. He's out. Bless Austin. I like his name. Bless. I like that name. Bless Austin. He's questionable with a hip. DK Metcalf, who's a thorn in everybody's side. He's limited with a foot injury. Limited participation. Freddie Swan, limited participation. You got Poona Ford, limited participation. You got Alice Collins, who has limited participation. So a lot of injuries on both sides. You got a lot of injuries on both sides. But at the same time, again, like I said, I really don't even care who actually wins this game. I, I just want to see some growth in our young players.
Yeah, you are. And you know what? And I was going to say something too, Jay. Uh, Bears really aren't playing for anything, but the rookies are, because the rookies are
Right,
trying to set a
right,
precedent to say, look, this
right.
is what we got, this is what we gonna do, and I'm excited about that.
And we talked about this last week, talking about bringing up the guys from the practice squad, and then we talked about it after the game last week, how you had guys like Daz Newsome who didn't catch a pass. He had a couple of penalties, but he was actually active for the game. But Thomas Graham, you know, we talked about Thomas Graham the day after he got drafted,
He's all over the
and
internet, man.
and for this guy to have the game that he had and wasn't on the active roster for 15 weeks, that says a lot about this coaching staff. And y'all know I'm a naggy guy, but at this time,
Nah,
yeah, I am. But
you
at
with the
this
guy that's
time,
getting fired?
I'm not. I'm not no more. I'm not no more. I'm just
Wait,
saying.
make up your mind now. You got to be either a naggy guy or you want
I
him
was a
fired. Which
I
one?
was a naggy guy. I want to fire now, but I was a naggy guy. I was a naggy guy. But for Thomas Graham to have the game that he had, it's almost like, what are y'all evaluating?
He's
Y'all
not a
had
great player evaluator.
y'all had
He's
Kendall
not.
Vildor, y'all had Artie Burns, y'all had all these guys that y'all was playing in front of Thomas Graham. What was he not showing you guys that you wasn't evaluating during the season?
He probably wasn't getting a lot of reps in practice either.
See, and you know what?
He was on the practice squad, so he wasn't
He's
getting a
on
lot of
practice
reps.
squad.
And that's
He wasn't
intel
getting a lot of
too.
reps.
Well, it starts with the DB coach,
Yes.
individual
That's who.
drills and all of that. So it starts there.
Fire everybody.
Yeah. Hey, y'all.
You know
off of
what
this-
the interesting thing, Jay, is I want to say he had 4 to 5 contested batted down balls, and that tied him, I think, for second for the most on the team with only Jalen Johnson. So you're actually telling me that 4 to 5 batted balls, pass breakup, are more than Vildor and all the other guys that have been playing corner, safety, combined for 14 games.
Because they make tackles instead of pass
get
breakups.
And he was making tackles in the open field.
No, I'm saying the other guys are making tackles because they got catching the ball instead of pass breakup. That's the difference.
But you know what was interesting though, from my standpoint, as watching him play at Oregon, the one thing that stood out for me with him was the fact that his closing speed, man. He had closing speed, and he was like one of them type of guys where, you know, some guys are kind of content with looking good on TV, like getting a nice little hit. Sometimes they hit the dude wrong and he bounces off and runs it. His closing speed was great. He wraps you up and makes sure you don't progress. And the interesting part about it is if you do catch a pass on him, he gets there and he takes care of it. And if I'm a scout and I see that, my thing would be like, you know what? This ain't rocket science. Let's give this kid a chance. I mean, what could happen? If he doesn't do good, then I put him on the practice squad or whatever. But with the intangibles that I saw him have at Oregon, I mean, you'd be dumb not to give him a shot. And now I guess it's showing how dumb they are.
Yeah. And see, the thing about it was he opted out in 2020. So he didn't play the 2020 season at Oregon. So his draft stock dropped. And the Bears were fortunately able to get him. They cut him and was able to bring him back to the practice squad. And now they've signed him to the active roster because after his performance on Monday night, they're like, you know what? Somebody might take him off our practice squad, so we just need to go ahead and sign him to the active roster.
That's what happened last week to the guy that came from the New England practice squad, the quarterback. They signed him straight off the practice squad to come play on their team. But if you look at it, the Bears' defensive backfield, besides the safeties, most of the corners that they have are 4th, 5th, and 6th round picks.
Yep.
So a lot of those
guys,
is
what I hate. Which is what I hate.
A lot of those guys are interchangeable within their own rights, but Thomas Graham really separated himself from the pack last week.
And and we giving kudos to Thomas Graham, but Tez Tabor was making some plays. I'm like, what we gonna play this guy at? What we gonna play this guy
too? Because if you give a guy an opportunity who hasn't been getting one, he's got
a dog a bone.
Yeah, he's got
give a dog a bone.
Show that he really belongs to be here, or show that he sucks.
Hey, but quick, you'll appreciate this, man. Something that I noticed about Graham, which is interesting. You ever notice like rookie corners or whatever, when they get back, it's almost like they kind of like move like, oh man, it's like dude set up and he's just like this. And I'm like, that dude right there, it ain't just the fact that he's got the technique. He understands the defense, man.
Yeah.
He was ready to play. He was ready to play. He was ready to play.
And that's all it takes, man. You need that one opportunity to show what you can do.
He was a corner, you know. It's all about confidence. It's all about confidence.
Yeah,
get out there and do your thing.
I talk more trash than anybody I know. I was like, man, I used to go to the huddle, be like, would you shut up? I be talking to myself. Man, shut up. Damn.
Well, what is across the league? Look at all these shows. All these shows, we talking about ex-professional football players, some of them defensive, offensive. Every last one of them was talking about this dude, and it was eye-popping because usually if it's somebody that's kind of okay, you know, you have some people, but across the board, everybody was talking. They had this look on their face like, how the hell did y'all not see that he was this good?
Yeah, he better be careful. Dion will recruit him to Jackson State in a minute.
I know, right?
Boy, you said you 18.
Hey, let's get to
I
the
know,
good
right?
part right here. Offensive, defensive rankings. Let me get on my glasses so I can see what's going on here.
Ain't nothing to see.
Right.
This look like the movie Dumb and Dumber. Since we was talking about movies earlier,
What we have here are we definitely have two teams that have offenses that are definitely struggling. The Bears offense is ranked 29th. They average 17.1 points a game. The rushing average per game is 125.2. The passing average is 181.2. The Seattle Seahawks, they're actually ranked 30th. They're actually below the Bears. They average more points. They average 20.5 points per game. Rushing per game 102.6. Passing per game is 200. So you can see these are offensively two challenged teams. Bears defensively are ranked ninth. They allow 24.9 points per game. They teams rush average is about 120.9, and they allow 205 passing yards per game. The Seattle Seahawks ranked 31st. They're at the bottom of the league as far as defense. They allow 20.1 points a game, and that's interesting because they get the same amount of points. I haven't really seen that often. They get the same amount of points that they allow.
They give up.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
that calls them
I'm
special
gonna tell y'all
teams.
why in a minute. I'm gonna share
Okay.
something with y'all in
Special.
a minute.
Oh, go ahead.
Rushing average is 116.5 yards, and they allow 173 yards passing. What you got, quick?
Well, you got to remember they play in the NFC West, which is one of, if not the toughest conference in the NFL. They got to play Arizona twice. They have to play the Rams twice, and they have to play the
San
49ers twice.
Francisco. Yep.
High
That's
octane
one of the
offense.
toughest conferences in the NFL. So when you have to play that all season long, and remember now, this may be one of the first years they haven't not in contention for the playoffs in a long time. But you have to run that gauntlet, and when we over here playing the Lions and Tigers and Bears, oh my,
Oh my.
you know, it's a little, so you can't really look at their numbers because you know, the who was that? The Cardinals are having an unbelievable year. The Rams are still to be
The
mentioned,
Rams.
and old school Jimmy Garoppolo is still, those three teams are playoff contenders right now. And but what's interesting is that Minnesota and Green Bay both beat Seattle already. They both beat us too, but you got
Yeah.
to think about that too.
Their record would be better if Russ wasn't out. That's what the first
Yeah,
lady
that's what
said.
Tammy said. Tammy said, "Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all who are looking for Tammy tonight. Tammy actually, her family is having a gathering, and
She
you
cooking
know,
caramel cake and not giving us none. That's what she's doing.
there's a lot of noise in the background, so she didn't want the noise to come through on the broadcast, so
And she
she
thinking
didn't get
about
on
y'all.
tonight. But we know Tammy is going to be missed tonight. So hey, we went over that, and hey, let's go to here before we get to who we pick, and let's go to the bragging rights. Bragging rights. Guy is 10-4. Quick is 10-4.
That be
I'm
me.
9-5. Jay 8-6. Tammy 5-9. And Plank is 4-10.
Just like the
Okay.
Bears.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, hey, hey. Can I say something before we go to the other thing? I just kind of want to piggyback on what you guys were talking about prior to that. A lot of times people look at the numbers like that and they start going by these numbers and start making these assessments. What I look at when I see stuff like that, I look at the special teams. How much penetration is the special teams giving up? What type of position they're putting the defense in? And just like Quick said, with these high octane offenses, it's like one of those things where they got so many wrinkles. They wrinkles got wrinkles. So they shoot 4th and 2. It's like, okay, what they thinking about, they ain't thinking about making the 2 yards. What they thinking about is, okay, what we want to do is get on the left side here. Because what we're going to do is we're going to run strong side, this, that. We run this, that, and the other. But that's what I usually see. And I didn't understand it first, but I watched the game once and I was looking at something and I'm like, oh, the reason why they don't seem numbers wise as good as they really are, or they aren't, is because their special teams suck.
Okay. Hey, I'm looking at before we get to ours. Tammy usually does what the people in the Facebook Bears Banner page. She didn't get a chance to do that, but I have some of them in front of me. Interesting or not, this was almost 40. This was 50-49.
Yeah.
In favor of the Bears as far as the people select. So that's interesting. That two more people pick the Bears than who picked Seattle. So I'm gonna run by some of these real quick, and then we'll move on to our prediction. We have Sandra Carter that has the Bears winning 20-21. Miss Tina D picked Seattle 17-10. Larry Patterson 27-10. Laverna 24-10. PC Cunningham, he got Seattle 17-13. My homeboy that grew up with Cletus Harris. Cletus been doing real good. Cletus is 12-2. Cletus picked Seattle 24-20.
We need him.
James, who's supposed to come on, I believe, next week. Or no, James is going to come on Sunday if he's available and sit in with us. James picked Seattle 24-10. Benny Day, Seattle 10-6. We also have Brother Talib, got the Bears 2013. Sharon Patterson, thank you, Sharon Patterson. She always tunes in. She got the Bears 10-6. Ivan Torin has the Bears 14-10. And Derek Williams has the Bears 21-10. And three more I'll share with us. Kathy Kidd has Seattle 28-10. Christy Love has the Bears 2014. And Phyllis, who's kicking butt, she's hanging in there with the guys.
What's up, Lefty?
Yeah, Phyllis got Seattle 35-21. Phyllis is also 12-2. And what we have here, we have Christian Jones said we're losing out. Okay. Hey, are y'all ready yet?
Nope.
Y'all ready? I still trying to decide. So hold on, I'll go with the knowns right now. Plank. We're gonna ask Pat, that's Plank. How did he get this score?
2-0
again.
2-0.
Yeah. He doing turnovers. That's what he's doing. He almost got it right the game before.
Yeah, I know, right?
We got Tammy. Tammy has the Bears. Hold on, Tammy has Seattle.
Oh, wow.
Something's going on over there.
Tammy actually has Seattle 24-17. Yeah. Who's up first?
I'll go first.
Okay, go ahead, Jay.
I'll go first. Believe it or not, because Nick Foles is actually starting, I'm actually gonna get a Bears a win. I really am. I'm gonna get a Bears a win. 20-17. I'm gonna get a Bears a win. Nick Foles, he does know this. He hasn't played all year, but he comes off the bench and he plays well off the bench. He knows the offense, and he will get in Nagy's ear if Nagy ain't trying to hear what he's talking about. So I'm going to get a Bears to win 20-17.
2017. Okay, I can't find my pen. Give me a moment to find my pen. I'm going to go up next, then I'm going to go to Guy. Jay, I'm actually in agreement with you. I do think with Nick Foles coming in and looking at these teams are not much different. Not that Nick Foles makes a whole lot of hell of a difference, but I think Nick is just one of those guys that you bring him off the bench, he has this one game that's good enough to make you think he should be starting until you see him in the second game and you realize he's a backup. So I'm gonna go the Bears 21, Seattle 17. Hey, Guy, what do you have?
Yeah, Nick does bring a different type of dimension. For some reason or another, he comes off the bench and has a good game. It's just the stuff after that game that happens. But the remote control is broke. So we can't do none of this. We got to give him the real remote control. With that being said, I got the Bears 14, the Sea Donkeys 17.
So okay. So you had a Bears losing.
Yeah.
Okay.
17-14 to the Sea Donkeys.
Okay. Man, guys, sound like you need some garlic and some tea. Put some tea in there, some garlic.
Oh, I got some. I got like a big Yeti cup full of it.
Oh,
I have
okay.
like a cold and it turned to a sinus infection.
Okay, yeah, I got my tea right here too with a little garlic in it. Hey, Jay, what was your score again?
2017 Bears.
2017 Bears. Hey, quick, what you have?
I ain't got that what he got. I'm saying right now. I'm looking at these standings. You got the Arizona Cardinals 10-4. You got the Los Angeles Rams 10-4. San Francisco 8-7. And then when you look at ours, we got the Packers that's 11-3. But all three of these teams have scored more points than the Packers have, and it's unbeknownst to me. But Seattle, and the bad part about this whole thing is, I remember Nick Foles last time in the game when he was sprung out on the field, folded up like a folding chair in the line or whatever. So he might be a little gun shy out there, man. I don't know. I remember that game. Who was that against the Packers or whatever? They folded that dude up and he fumbled and watched that guy run the ball in. Let's see here. I'm gonna go with Seattle. Sorry to say, but Seattle. I'm gonna say Nick might have 2 touchdowns, so I'm gonna go 24-14.
Okay, 24-14. Okay.
24-14.
Okay. So, hey, this is what we have. We have Tammy picking Seattle 24-17. We have Plank picking the Bears 2-0. We
He
have
just gave
Jay.
up.
He gave up.
He just like forget.
He just like whatever. Whatever the Bears record's gonna be my record. Jay picked the Bears 20-17. I picked the Bears 21-17. Guy picked Seattle 17-14. Quick pick Seattle 24-14. We kind of look like more people are leaning towards Seattle 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 3.
It's about even.
Yeah, it's about even. Yeah,
it's
about
3-3.
3-3.
Yeah, me
Okay.
guy and Tammy.
Okay, so we have a late game this Sunday as far as the Bears, and let's see what happened. Now, one of the things I just want to discuss before we end the broadcast tonight was when you mentioned Thomas Graham, and also we talked about Tevin Jenkins. What do you really want when you talk about Tevin Jenkins playing? What do you really want to see out of him? I mean, is it something that you really look at it, Jay, when you watch him play? I mean, what are you looking at? What are you evaluating?
I'm looking for consistency. I'm looking for, are you blocking the right man? Are you able to protect the blind side of the quarterback? Because you played right tackle in college and that didn't move you to the left. You coming off a back injury, moving from the right to the left. I'm looking for consistency. Same thing with Thomas Graham. Can you duplicate what you did last week against a DK Metcalf, against a Lockett? Can you duplicate that? That's all I'm looking for. It ain't even about wins and losses no more. It's about evaluating talent to see, can you duplicate what you did in your first start for Tevin Jenkins in your second start? Can you negate the penalties that you've had over the last couple of weeks? Tevin Jenkins had, I want to say over the last 2 weeks, he had 7 or 8 penalties.
Yeah.
Can you eradicate that? Can you get rid of some of that and be that building block for the future? And that's what I'm looking for. Another thing I want to say, I want to give a blast to Jermaine Ifedi, who called out the rookie on the penalty that he had last week. If y'all go back and look at the film, and I did it a couple of times, he blasted him for going to the defense of his quarterback on the field. He went up to him and kind of like blasted him in the helmet, like, don't do that. That's something that you do on the sideline. You don't do that on the field. You don't do that on the field. So I'm giving a blast to Jermaine Ifedi on what he did to the rookie Tevin Jenkins last week. But that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for some consistency from the rookies because we got 3 weeks left. This is y'all future, and we need to see if y'all gonna be a part of it.
Yeah, hey, Jermaine Ifedi, if he'd have used the same amount of energy blocking, they probably could have ran to the right side.
Exactly.
I mean,
man, you got to think.
He played like straight trash last week. They could not run the ball to the right at all, and it was predominantly because Jermaine Ifedi could not block at all. And that's the most memorable thing that you did last week was actually getting in the rookie phase because other than that, all you did was lose yards on that side of the field.
Nutty, that was the only guy he put his hands on all last week. You know what I'm talking about? The bad part, I said it last week. Like, you got this rookie going over there to take up for his quarterback. This guy was not in the picture. Then he gets surrounded by Minnesota guys, and this guy's still not in the picture. Then he waits on the smoke to clear, and then all of a sudden he's tough. Come on, man, stop it. Just stop it, man. Only dude he even tried to confront all week was his own teammate, man.
I agree, Quit. I agree, Quit.
That's sorry.
That Fetty thing, yeah.
I love that penalty by Jenkins. That shows that he cares.
I did too.
And he's gonna do whatever it takes to protect his quarterback. The other dude, get him out of here. He needs to go right now. Sorry.
And I gotta send a shout out to 2 people in that respect. And one of them is Matt Nagy. And one of them is Matt Nagy. If you look at the film look at the broadcast again, and you look on the sideline, he had Tevin Jenkins and he had the thing up there. And the way he was talking, you can see him go like, and you can see Tevin do this. That's all he had to do. Number one. Number two, the problem I had with Ifedi was the fact that, just like I say, you was getting beat like a rented mule, and a rookie went up. See, and to me, this is what I love about him, and I'll tell you what I want to see from him. He up there in a sea of nothing but Vikings. Where's the rest of your offense? Nobody, except for him and Justin Fields. He didn't care. To me, that's that whole thing that B talked about with Olin Cruz. Olin Cruz didn't get with fights with people. Like, if his quarterback is down, it would just subtly just take the dude, just push the dude off, get his quarterback and go. That's what you're supposed to do. What I want to see with Tevin Jenkins is work on his timing, because something that he had down pat at college, because he was able to work on it, and it's a whole different ball game in college, was he was able to time snaps where he got like maybe 1/10 of a second off the line faster. But he has to understand it's a whole different world. I need to work on those penalties. As far as his blocking is concerned, anytime you see a dude like that 10, 15 yards down the field trying to block, that's what you want. I want to see him play mean. I want to see him be nasty, because what happens now is if you nasty like that, now the defense is more inclined to be like, okay, well, spot on. Thank you very much. But what the defense is inclined to do is they look at him. They may not say nothing, but they're like doing a block on the other side, like, watch dude, because dude about to smash you. He don't care. But I'm looking for some great things from this kid, man. I really am.
Okay. Hey, Mike, we'll let you round this off before we close out. I know with you being a former D-back, what do you want to see specifically from Thomas Graham as he started his second game as a rookie? What do you want to see?
Here's what I really want to see, because in the NFL, your worth is if you can travel, and what traveling means is if you are guarding DK Metcalf or Tyler Lockett, if you're on that guy, you stay with him the whole game, whether he's on the right side or the left side, and that's going to be your work. Now, if you're on DK Metcalf, you better bring your hard hat and your lunch pail, because that dude may steal on you, and I want you to hit him back. I want you to hit him back. Yeah, because that's going to be the thing. He's just got to remain consistent and just build from what he had last week, and just show that he's supposed to be here. Everybody now is like, man, these guys can't evaluate talent. Has this guy not even out there, and he's coming in and making plays, and just keep having everybody talking about him, because even the team saw that last week, and I say that, man, that locker room be full of talk, man, and guys know who's supposed to be out there. And if you're not getting the shot that you're supposed to get, guys know that, and they like, man, I don't know why dude ain't out there, man. You know, we supposed because even the players had to hear that this week. Like, man, how come, man? Why he ain't been out there, man? Dude, they getting burnt,
which
they getting beat. Go
which is
ahead.
why, Mike, I said last week when I was talking about Jalen Johnson, this is about coaching because Jalen Johnson whole thing was like, I need to be able to travel. You used the word I didn't use the word
Yeah,
travel last week, but
yeah,
because
it's
you're a
travel.
corner and you're a defensive back, you use the word travel. His whole thing is I need to be able to cover in the nickel. I need to be able to cover on the left. I need to be able to cover on the right. I need to be able to follow a wide receiver, the best wide receiver on the other team. And you're exactly right. That's what that's where coaching comes from. And they need to teach they need a coach that's going to show these DBs and teach these DBs, develop these DBs, these corners, how to travel with the best wide receiver.
Hey George, I'm available. George McCaskey, I'm available. I'm teaching him how to
I
travel.
know that's right. I know that's right. Send your resume. Send your resume
Teach him
to
to travel.
23. Send your resume to 2000 Hallis Hall.
Yeah.
Send your
Hey,
resume.
Christian, tell send that down there to the McCaskies. You played under
Send
me.
it.
Hey,
Send it.
Christian, I actually thought about you today. Hey, I want you to
You
get
gotta have him
ready
on the
in
show,
about
dog.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I want him to come in on a Friday and to do a football 1-on-1 with us. And I really want you to talk about. I know we brought Hampton in the past, but I want you to talk about some of the things that you've seen from Justin Fields this year as a quarterback. Maybe some of the things that you think he may want to work, that he should work on, the things you think he's doing good. But I would like to see you as a quarterback. Come on. So, okay, you said sure. Okay. We
Yes.
see
Yeah.
you. Like I said, I give you about 2 weeks and we want to do you on a football 1-on-1 because I love to see like what other quarterbacks or former quarterbacks, because like I know all of us, we look at the position we used to play. I mean, I stare running backs down and sometimes I be like, oh man, how did he not see that hole, right? And look at him, he's he's starting off on the wrong foot or he got the ball in the wrong hand. All through the game, I'm saying stuff like that, like, man, he just missed that pickup. And I'm sure Quick does that. I'm sure Jay does that. Like, man, that route looks wrong, etc. Or man, that's a beautiful route. And I know Guy studies all the stuff, so Guy looks at it all, and Planks does the same thing. Look at the secondary. So we'd definitely like to bring you on as a former quarterback and give us your viewpoint as a quarterback. But we'd like to thank everybody who's watching us on YouTube and Facebook. And we'll see you Sunday. Have a nice evening.
Feliz
Peace.
Happy
Navidad.